Now I'm going to switch gears and talk about how to find and monitor nests, our safety protocol, and the reasons behind it. Monitoring nests is an intimate interaction between humans and birds. There is always a risk of causing unintentional harm. By carefully following the nest monitoring protocol and code of conduct, these risks will be minimized. Following the protocol and code of conduct will also ensure that everyone's data meets a minimum standard of quality so that it can be applied in scientific research. Let's take a moment to review the Migratory Bird Treaty Act. The Act states that it is illegal to take, possess, import, export, transport, sell, purchase, barter, or offer for sale any migratory bird or the parts, nests, or eggs of such a bird, except under the terms of a valid permit issued by federal and, in some cases, state agencies. It is important to pay attention to this act because the birds in our nest boxes, with the exception of house sparrows, are protected under it, and this dictates how we are to interact with them. Following the NestWatch Code of Conduct will help you minimize risk of accidental harm to a nest, parents abandoning the nest, or attracting predators to the nest. Nests are very fragile. The eggshells are thin and nestlings are small and delicate. It's best to always exercise caution around them. Here in the next few slides, we will go over some of these do's and don'ts. You should be prepared and plan ahead for nest visits because we want to keep them short. Ideally, it's best to check the nest every 3 to 4 days, which will equate to about 7 to 10 visits per nest attempt. Again, if you can only check them once a week, that is okay. To minimize disturbance, we want to keep the visits to the nest less than 1 minute if we can. Here, I added a slide to show you the tools that I use and recommend. This is a list of things that I normally have with me and recommend you have as well. It's important to have a container to keep your tools in. I like a utility bucket like the one pictured on the bottom of this slide. I find that an inexpensive pail like this one is ideal because it can be easily sanitized throughout the season, and you can also throw your things in there pretty easily. Before I forget, I will say that I sanitize my tools as needed through the season by just soaking them in the bleach solution, rinsing well, and sun drying. A small mirror for checking nests is also highly recommended. In the bottom right, you will see a picture of my go-to mirror, the Bell hand mirror, which can be found at Dollar General. This mirror comes in a 2-pack, and the smaller of the mirrors fits in your pocket and inside a nest box, and I find it to be perfect for nest box monitoring. It's also inexpensive, so if it breaks, you can easily replace it. I like mirrors because you don't need to put your face too close to the box to see what's going on, and it also helps if a box is very tall. It's a win-win because you can see exactly what is going on inside the box with minimal disturbance, and of course, not touching anything. I also recommend a putty knife and a paintbrush to clean out the box when the nest attempt is over. You can use the knife to scrape out the debris and then brush it off with the brush. NestWatch is completely online, and you can enter your data on the app if you are comfortable doing so. This probably works best with a pair of monitors because one person with clean hands can hold the phone and enter the data, while the other person with dirty hands can carry the tools and check the nest boxes. For me, I prefer to keep paper records, as nest box monitoring is dirty and sweaty, so I carry a dirty pen and a piece of scrap paper in my pocket, and that's what works best for me. I also like to wear gloves when I monitor nest boxes. You are cleaning out old nests which have fecal matter on them. Sometimes there are dead birds that need to be removed, and sometimes there are ants or mites. I always like to keep my hands clean, and gloves really help a lot with that. I also carry a garbage bag with me, not only for when I need to swap gloves after cleaning out a nest box, but also to pick up trash as I walk along the trail. This is a habit that I picked up from hiking with the Northern Kentucky Sierra Club, and it keeps our parks looking beautiful. Sometimes the latches on the boxes are tight, so a pair of pliers is handy, as is a Phillips screwdriver for tightening loose doors. And last but not least, if you have them, you can bring clean, untreated white feathers to give as peace offerings to tree swallows.